Welcome! In this video, Tom, W3TDH, talks antenna stakes, anchors, and overall safety.
These stakes are all, and these guy lines are all from the AB955 tower system. And AB means antenna base in military nomenclature. So the AB955 is a 35-foot tower that can be extended if you use the extension kit to 50 feet. And these stakes will handle either configuration. But when we use them for this sort of thing where we're hauling on them, we're going to use a different stake that is easier to attach the hauling gear to. And we're going to attach our hauling points so far back that nobody, if anything went desperately wrong, would be anywhere near where the tower could get them.
So what kind of hauling stakes would those be?
They'll be awfully similar, except they have larger holes in them to accept split links and mullion links like you use to join pieces of chain, and those make a nice strong connection when the gates are screwed shut. And that way we'll have anchor points that will handle the hauling system more readily, and we can be a lot more sure of them. And they'll behave better for us, and we can put the hauling point so far back that in the event of a disaster, nobody need be anywhere near the tower itself. As long as you set your guys properly like we did in advance, there's no chance of it going to either side. Okay? The only other thing you have to do is when you set the length of the back guy, you set it by running it to one of the side guys, because that's already at the right distance from the anchor point on the tower. You can set the tension on it. You can't set it to the back guy because the tower's laying on the back. You can't set the tension right. So you set that guy to one of the side guys, move it to the back anchor point, and clip it in so that you know it won't allow the tower to come past center when it goes up. On this end, you do a similar thing. This guy gets set when the tower's on the ground to one of the side guys that you've laid out carefully. You know that distance is going to be correct when it gets upright, and you're ready to pull it in a position. And the other thing we'll probably change next year, just for the sake of safety, is we'll probably use a second guy on the side we're hauling to minimize the forces in the tower. We'll use a lower guy on the haul side to have a more even pull on it. So, you know, we've learned a lot, and it was done safely, and we had enough. The slogan in emergency field work is LCES, lookouts, communications, escape routes, and safety zones. You have lookouts that can see what you can't see. You keep good communications with them and with any group working nearby you in case they suddenly realize they're causing you trouble, so they can warn you. And then you have an escape route. Everybody knows in advance which way they're going to run. It's not, oops, which way do I run? You knew, you planned which way to run in the event something went desperately wrong. And you have safe zones for people to run to and for everybody not involved to be in. That's how you do safety, and that comes out of wildfire fighting, but it's been adopted nationwide now through emergency service work because it's a good mnemonic. LCES, lookouts, communications, escape routes, safety zones. Even if you're setting up at a shelter point, you should be aware of what's going on around you. And when the population of the shelter starts to set out all over the place, somebody you should be able to trust should know what's going on. So if the situation starts to deteriorate in any way, shape, or form, you'll be aware of it at once. Then have communications. Now you're there for the communications, but make sure you have communications not just for the work you're doing, but for the work you hope not to do. If something goes desperately wrong, be in touch with somebody who can send help quick. Have an escape route out of there. Don't let anybody, including the shelter manager, position you in a blind end so that you have a way to exit, and then know where a safe place is that you can exit to. And that way you can stay relatively safe.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Wise words from experience.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Neglected that at my peril one time I did.
Uh-oh.
You know that military slogan I shared with you. Good judgment comes with experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. So you try and learn from other people's mistakes instead of making your own. In that one case, I wasn't quite that smart.
Yikes. Okay. So, but it didn't happen twice.
No, it didn't happen twice. I can proudly say I didn't make the same mistake over again.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.